I don't know which camera I'm on. Well, I have two different cameras and one is better than the other. Not sure which one we're on. We're on the right one.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to check. Being on so not technical. I'm sitting a little close because we're going to just do some like our upper body work to start.
So you're on the camera to the left of you. I think you're looking at the other camera. If you look at, yeah, this is, no, you still look, this is the, yes.
And now am I looking at you?
Yes, you're looking at us now.
Okay, that's good. So that's good. I'm just moving my chair over different angle. So I'm gonna do a little bit of upper body work. I'm gonna try and play some music, and if that is distracting, and then I will turn it off. But it's sort of a little yoga adaptation of a dance for Parkinson's sort of little ditty. So I liked it so much I wanted to sort of put a little yoga in it, and so it's kind of dance yoga. First we'll just warm up. Let's go ahead and just get ourselves into our seated mountain. Welcome, hello everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. So in our seated mountain, we want to be at the front edge of our chair. So walk your sit bones up to the front edge, and you want your ankles right under your knees. Your knees are about hip width apart. Just you can wiggle your toes a little bit and get your feet nice and comfortable on the floor. And then feel yourself in your hips and see if you can wiggle around and get them even if they're crooked. And then press those sit bones into the chair, but lift up out of your tailbone, like just you're elongating your spine. And then from there, if your shoulders went up too, let them drop away from your ears. And we're just gonna take a breath in here and notice what's going on. So you're gonna try and breathe in through the nose. I know it's allergy season, but nice breath in. When we breathe in, we sort of stop here. We don't wanna stop here. We wanna send that breath all the way down to the base of our lungs, which is all the way down to the bottom of our ribs. So let's go ahead and take that breath and really feel it filling up the ribs. You feel the ribs expanding. You can put your hands there and feel it if you want. And then notice that the back of the ribs are filling too, so the back ones are expanding as well. And then the breath out, notice how they'll just relax down. Next inhale. All the way down to the base of your lungs, sip a little more. And on the exhale, exhale out anything that's not needed, you know, self-doubt or criticizing ourselves or anything. I'm the worst. I edit myself all the time. So I'm just going to I'm going to breathe that out. Now let's press our hands over our heart. On inhale, we're going to open up, let that heart reach out. Exhale, bring them back over your heart. Inhale, open. Exhale, back down. Shake that out. We use a lot with our arms. So we're going to start out and we're just going to loosen them up a little bit and just let one swing. Let that go, let the other one swing. And just to make sure our neck's not going to be tight while we're doing this, just drop your chin down. Just let your head drift from one shoulder to the other, like it's a pendulum on a grandfather clock. Just slowly going from one shoulder to the other. And then bring that back up and look over one shoulder and back to center and over to the other shoulder and back to center. Circle our shoulders. Inhale, big up. And then squeeze them as they come up, let them fall back down. And then we're going to reverse that. Come from behind, so you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together and come forward. And let that go. So, like I said, I'm gonna play a little music on this once we get started. We're just gonna start out with your hand. You start with one hand and just let the hand just float. Imagine you've got like a little streamer on it and you're just Just gonna go up and down and maybe in a circle or maybe just, let it float. And let it be really loose and like it's a little streamer on there, and just go around. And then go ahead and let it touch the other hand. The other hand's gonna start. And let that one go around. It can go in circles, it can make little shapes, just flowy. And let's see what we got for. Oh, wait a minute. This isn't playing what it's supposed to. Oops. Just gonna see if you can keep it going. And let's let that go. Take a breath in and release it out. And now we're gonna touch our fingers together and let them both flow. You can go slowly and you can be, as though it's like a banner. And let that go. And let one hand drop down. And we're gonna scoop it up. And then you're gonna go back in a big circle and up. And then sweep it across. Turn your palm up, open it up, sweep it across again. And let that come around and down. Let's do the other side. We're gonna scoop it up. And go around back. And then cross over, cross your body. Turn that palm up and sweep it across your body again. And then up and over. Now we're gonna go ahead and bring our hands and they're just gonna flow out. We're gonna reach up and out. Reach to one side and out. To center. Back to the other side and out. And just let that come to center and take a breath. And now we're gonna go the opposite way. And notice how it feels a little different. We're gonna scoop in. So go to the one side and scoop in. The other side and scoop in. Above. Dip down below and scoop up. Let's let that hand lead again. Like it's got a banner on it. And then we're gonna go over to one side. We're gonna do one burst out, two bursts out, three bursts out, four bursts out, and then bring it around again. And let that other hand touch the other hand and let that one start flowing. We're gonna go over to the side. We're gonna do one burst out, two bursts out, three bursts out, four bursts out, and then let it flow again. And then both hands together, we're gonna do a wave. Just a simple, gentle wave, not a stormy wave. Let that wave go over to one side, over to the other side. Back to center. And let those arms come down. Or a big ah. How was that? You feel all loosened up in the shoulders? Great. Let's do it. The circle of shoulders can just make sure they're loosened up. I'm gonna do some balance stuff today. So, can't decide if it's warm or cold. Sorry, keep putting my sweater on, picking it up. It's kind of a dreary day here. We'll have to make our own sunshine. So let's go ahead and let's do a couple twists before we get up because it's good for the spine. And twists are always good. Let's go ahead and place the right hand across on your left thigh, outside of your left thigh. And the left hand's gonna come up. And with your gaze, follow your left hand around to the left. And notice what's going on in your back. If it starts to round, you want to stop there and put your hand down. If it's staying nice and straight, just keep going until you can't go back anymore. Let your hand come down on the back of the chair, or the back of your, the back, the seat or the back. You just want to press that hand down. Then inhale, you're gonna lift up. And on the exhale, start from the base of your spine. Start with those sit bones and then the tailbone. Just see if you can turn everything towards the left, but from the bottom up. So the sit bones, tailbone, hips, ribs, shoulders, and then have a look over that shoulder. And then inhale, reach that left hand that was supporting you, reach that out with the palm up. Then we're gonna sweep it up and let that right hand support you on your elbow on your knee, and you're gonna sweep that left hand up to the ceiling. And as you're supporting yourself on your right elbow on your knee, if you wanna go further, this is fine here. If you wanna go a little further, sweep it overhead towards your right big toe. And then we're gonna sweep that back around and have that's a big one. So let's get that on the other side too. So let's take the left hand and put it on the right thigh somewhere. And take your right hand. And we're gonna follow with our gaze as we go behind. And again, we're gonna notice our back, and if it starts to round, just put your hand down. And if it's staying nice and straight, keep your hand going till you all the way around, and then let it come down onto your chair. And inhale, we're gonna lift up nice and tall. On the exhale, go ahead and turn those sit bones, the tailbone, hips, ribs, and then shoulders, and then look over that back shoulder. And then on the next inhale, go ahead and let your right hand reach out, palm up, sweep it up to the ceiling, let your left elbow support you on your left knee. And you can reach up, and that's fine there. If you want to go ahead and exhale, reach over towards your right big toe. And then let that come back around. How's that? That's a good one. We're gonna do one more lengthening of the spine before we stand up. So this is, I didn't make this up. This is called You Will Leave Taller. So it's definitely gonna sort of stretch us out. So we start with a Y. So we're gonna bring our arms up. But notice when you're reaching up on an inhale. Notice that it's not just the front ribs that are reaching up. So you're not gonna reach up like the, and you want your back ribs to go up too. So you want your whole rib cage to go up, not just the front. So notice that your whole rib cage is going up, back and the front. If your shoulders are squeezing too close to your ears, let your shoulders relax and just reach out through the fingertips. That's the Y for you. Now let's make the W. So we're gonna bring our elbows down and press them down towards the mat. There's our W, you will. Let's do an L. So we're gonna press the left palm up towards the ceiling. The right palm is going down. And then we're gonna, that's the L, leave, and then we're gonna do a T, taller. So we're gonna reach our arms out. We're gonna do it again because we have to do the other L. So we're gonna reach up into a Y. We have that whole rib cage lift up, not just the front. Relax those shoulders, and then bring your elbows down into a W. Press those elbows down. Now we're gonna have the right hand reach up and the left hand reach down. And then we'll go into a T. And feel that reach. If your shoulders are up at your ears, let them relax. And reach out for your elbows all the way out through your fingertips. Reach. And then exhale. Let that come down. How's that? Let's just drop that chin down again and let that neck be nice and loose. Let those pendulums happen again. And notice what's going on in your face. Notice if you're squeezing anything in your face, your lips or your eyebrows. Go ahead and see if you can let that go. Now let's come back to center. Let's just do a little bit of face with our face before we carry on. We don't want to forget our face. There are, I think, 42 muscles in our face, and there's like 13 in your leg. So we can't forget our face. So let's go ahead and just do a surprise look and then turn that into a frown, into a smile, into a pucker, and then blink. And do that again. Surprised, eyebrows are way up, and then frown, eyebrows come down. And then smile, and then pucker, and then blink. And let that relax out, and we're gonna do some standing. And if you're not comfortable standing today, everything I do you can do in the chair. So to stand, we're gonna do our toes behind, you're gonna our ankles behind our knees, and make sure your sit bones are up at the edge of the chair. So we're gonna use just our legs to get out of the chair, no arms. So we can bring our arms up across our chest if we want to challenge. We can bring them into like we're gonna do the breaststroke swimming. So get your nose over your toes, shift that weight to your feet, and then go ahead. You do the breaststroke with your arms, come on up. Excellent. So we want to have our chair in the front of the mat, so go ahead and move that chair to make sure that all four legs are on your mat if you've got a mat under there, because you don't want it to slide. And let's start out with our feet hip width apart. We're just going to shift our weight from side to side. So if you're seated, you can shift from one sit bone to the other. Just shifting your weight from one side to the other side. You can hold on for support if you want to let your arms be free and floppy. You can sort of turn a little bit from side to side and the arms be nice and loose. This is another kind of a twist. And if you notice that your hands, if you bring your hands up and bend your elbows and bring your hands up towards your waist, notice how it shifts the sensation from sort of twisting in your hips to twisting up close to your rib cage. So it's good to do sort of all arm positions on this. So bring your arms up sort of under your chin and notice how that brings that twist up to the upper back. And let those arms be floppy again. And let's let that go. Ooh, we're all twisted up. That's good. So let's go ahead and bring our feet back to hip width apart. Let's bend the ankles and knees before we go any further because we want to make sure they're bending before we try balancing. It's not easy to balance if your ankles are all frozen. Ankles have a lot to do with our balance, and so do toes. So we're going to make sure those are all stretched out. Just up and down, bend those knees, bend those ankles. So let's go ahead and let that come to still. We're going to come closer to our chair. We're going to do a little more ankle stretch. We're going to step 1 foot back. I'm going to put another mat down so you can see. Press that heel down. I'm going to turn so you can see me better. Press that heel in the back down. You'll feel that lengthening in the calf. You can see it a little bit better here. I'll do it this way, then you can see. You want that back, that heel going down. Right away. With that heel coming down, you can rock on the toes. Get that nice and loose in there. Try and see where you can see it. You want to go back and forth and feel that calf stretching. And then go ahead and bring that foot forward and step the other one back and press the heel down. Again, just come up on the toes and back. So you got this, you're just rocking on your ball of your foot. And let that come forward. Excellent. You feeling stretched out now? So let's Let's do a little balance act where we're back to standing hip width apart. And you can use the chair for support if you want. And you're gonna step one leg back, not too far. And then get your balance, your weight even on both feet. So you step that one back and you probably have more weight on the front legs. See if you can put some weight on that back leg. Notice if your hips, where your hips are, and try and sort of have them go. If they're turning one way, have them facing forward, right under your shoulders. Just to take inventory where they are. And have your weight even on both feet. So your feet are both pointing the same way. Toes are pointing the same way, like you're in cross-country ski path. You get that weight on both. Then you can use the chair to hinge forward. Then we're just hinging at the hips and coming down. You can come down to the seat of the chair if you want to block it. You should feel the lengthening in both legs. You should feel it mostly in the forward leg. So in the behind the thigh and the forward leg. So your legs are straight and your back is nice and straight. And go ahead and come back up from that and step that foot forward. So if you're seated, you can step one, you want to kick one leg forward. So now let's shift our weight to the other foot and step that left foot back. Again, it's like you're in a cross-country ski trail and toes are pointing in the same direction. And let's get our weight even on both feet. And our hips pointing forward. Keeping your legs straight, you're gonna hinge forward with a nice straight back, and you can come down, use the chair for support. And again, you'll feel that probably in the calf of the back leg and the behind the thigh and the front leg. Get to a point where you can feel that lengthening, but not where it's screaming at you. You just want a sensation of that lengthening. And take a breath in. Exhale, see if it loosens a little bit. And inhale, we come on up and step that left foot forward again. Now we're just gonna step the right foot back and just touch down with the toes. And then bring it forward again. And touch down with the toes and back. Now we're going to take the left hand, and at the same time you're reaching that right foot back to touch down the toes, you're going to lift that left arm up. And if you're seated, you can scoot the toes back a little bit and do the same thing with the arm. And see if you can, if you have a death grip on the chair, see if you can lighten up that touch and keep the balance in the arm and the leg. One more time, and now let's switch over. So you're going to switch your weight to the right leg and step the left leg back. And just touch down with the toes. And bring that forward again, and then go ahead and let the arm come in and come forward. So you want to inhale and let those leg and arms stretch out. And then exhale, bring them back down. We're inhaling as we reach, exhaling down. One more time on that side. So now we're going to do a little bit of lengthening. Turn your chair so you've got the back to one side. So I'm going to turn that so the back of the chair is on my left hand. We're going to get a little bit of a lunge in here, like a runner's lunge. So you want to, feel your weight over to your left foot, and if you can bring that right foot up to the chair. If that's too much, you can use a block. You're going to bring that up to the chair and just let that component is a nice stretch of the hips. You can use both the seat and the back of the chair for support. You're getting that hinge and then getting those hips You can rock a little bit there. And then let that leg straighten up, if that's possible. And hinge forward. You'll feel real lengthening in your, underneath your thigh. And let that go. I'm going to step that foot down. And come on back up to standing. Let's do a couple more empty coat sleeves or willow tree branches. And let's go ahead and turn the chair so the back is on the right side. If you're seated, you can do this with a block. You bring your foot up on a block and hinge forward. So go ahead and bring your weight to the right foot and let the left one come up. And then you're gonna then come lunge forward on that left leg. So you'll feel that lengthening in the hamstring area of the left and in the calf of the right. You can come in and out of that. And so there's a little movement to the hips too. And let's let that go and bring that leg down. Actually, not bringing that leg down yet. Oops, I forgot let's stretch that leg out. And go ahead and nice straight back, nice straight leg. Hinge forward, just so you feel that sensation of lengthening. If you see, just kick your leg out straight in front of you with heel on the floor. And on an exhale, you want to hinge down. And let's let that go and come on back down to standing. We're going to turn that chair so the back is facing us again. I'm going to step away a little bit from the chair. I'm going to do some boxes. So if you're seated, you can step your feet in the same way and do the clapping, but so you'll get the coordination trick and work up to the balance. So I'm just going to move my chair so you can see. So we're going to do, we're going to step a big step to the right and then clap and then bring your left foot over. Then you step the big step back, clap, bring the left foot. You step the left foot over. We're just making a box and then the right. Oh, left, clap, right. And then forward, clap, right. So let's do that again. So it's big step, clap, big step, clap, big step, clap, big step, clap, big step. You're making like a box. So it's very, we're going to go the other way too. So you have to really kind of concentrate. We're going to do, if you want to reach your arms out at the same time, that's like another, when you're stepping your leg out, you step your leg out and your arms out, clap, and then bring that other leg. Step back, clap, forward. Step right, clap, forward. Then another big step to the side, clap, close up that step. Step back, clap. This is a lot of, it's kind of coordinating. And so you step to the side, clap, close it up, forward, clap, close it up. Now we go the other way. Let's go ahead and reach out, step that to the side, clap, close it up, step back, clap, close it up. Stepping to the other side, clap, close it up. And then forward again, clap, close it up. It takes a lot of concentration, but it's a good one to, you can do it, when you're standing in the kitchen waiting for the coffee pot, or it's just a nice, it's a nice way to get the weight shifting and And the clapping just adds a little mental part to it. So let's go ahead and stretch that out a little. Now we'll do another balance pose. So come nice and close to your chair, and then we're going to step 1 foot back. The other goes to meet it. Let those heels press down. You're going to push away from the chair. Let your tailbone reach behind. You're hinging at the hips and the shoulders. So your tailbone's reaching back. Your head's coming between your arms. Your legs are nice and straight. If there's any back pain, lower back pain, go ahead and bend those knees. Notice the lengthening in your back and down your legs. Find that spot that's ooh, that's really stretchy, and just find where it is and then come out of it. Then inhale, sink a little bit into that. Exhale, come out of it a little bit, and then exhale all the air out. And then inhale, we're going to take 1 foot forward, and then the other. Let the blood come back to our heads. And we'll do another balance pose. Sort of a shifting our weight pose again. So this one is, we're going to step 1 foot forward, and the other one's sort of back in so sort of a diagonal. Put your arms out in that diagonal. And so get yourself nice and even on both feet, reaching out through the arms, and take the back arm, my right arm is going to sweep forward to meet the left that's in front, and then I'm going to sweep it all the way across. And I'm going to release the left one back. Then I'm going to bring that forward again and sweep across. So notice when you're reaching back, your weight sort of shifts to that back leg a little bit. And when you're reaching forward, it comes to the forward leg. And then as you're sweeping your arms are on both, so you're going to notice what's going on with your arms and your feet. So when you reach, oops, we're going to sweep that to the right. So you reach back, shifting that weight a little to the back leg and then forward. Then I'm going to go to the side, and then I'm going to shift to that side leg and then forward and then around. So you can go nice and slowly with this. You can do it to music, a nice slow piece of music. And it's just very flowing. It's called crane's wings. And one more time on the other side. How's that? Let's shake that out. Shake those arms out. Let's do a little bit of the arm movements that we did see. Let's do that standing. So have your chair handy because you need it for balance. So we're gonna go ahead and let like one arm as though you've got a streamer and you're just letting it flow and go to one side and then up or down. We're just letting it be loose and free, very fluid. Yeah, so you got a pretty ribbon on it. And then go ahead and let that go to the other hand. And let that hand take over. So it's nice, soft elbow and wrist. You can go down. You can come up. You can do loop-de-loops. And let that hand touch the one. And if you want to keep one hand on the chair, that's fine. If you're feeling comfortable letting both hands sort of go into a little wave or. And don't forget to reach back. And then let's let that go. Let's just pause and take a breath in and out. Notice where things are. And now let's go ahead and take our hands and we're going to reach out. And we're going to reach up. Go to the side and reach out. Turn to the other side and reach out. Again, up and out. Maybe some down and out. And let that go. Let's go ahead and see how it feels different to take in now. So you're gonna pull in. We're gonna go to the side and pull in. Front and pull in. Up and pull in. You're gonna down to one side. Down to the other side. And one more big in, and then go ahead and hold that in, cross your heart. And let that go. Let's shake that out. We're gonna do another balance pose. So again, we're shifting knee pose. You want your feet are going sort of like in cross country ski pads again, but have one. I want to put my right foot slightly behind my left. This time we're gonna do a bow and arrow. You're gonna reach out. You're gonna pull that bow back and let it go forward again. Then we're gonna go sweep down and over to the other side. We're not gonna pull the bow there. We're just gonna sweep over. We're just sort of going on, and then we're only gonna pull the bow from this side when that foot's forward. So we're gonna pull the bow back and forward again. Now go down, down, and then pull that arrow back, or bow back. And one more time, looping down. And let it go. Now switch feet so your right foot's a little bit in front. So I started with a right-handed bow because I'm right-handed. Now this is going to feel weird being a left-handed bow. Hope there's nobody out there so that I aim is not going to be very good. All right, here you go. So you're going to pull that left one back and let it go. And go down and down. Pull the left one back and let it go. And scoop down. And one more time on the side, we're going to pull that left one back and let it come forward and down and down. Whew, how are we feeling? Let's do a couple of squats while we're here because they're good for us. I don't actually like them, but I do them. So we're going to makes this one a little more fun is we're going to put some hand action in here. So, you want your feet maybe a little wider than hip width apart. And we're gonna just bend our ankles and knees again, make sure we've got that warmed up. And then we're gonna put our hands together so that we're in sort of prayer position. Your fingertips are touching on the heels of your hands. And bring that down as far as you can, where the heels of your hands are still touching. Then we're gonna slowly bend those knees. Stick your tailbone out a little bit. You come down and you want to go as far as you can where your heels are still on the floor. So your heels are sort of doing the same thing as your hands, heels of your hands. So you're going to come down and see how far you get when your heels are still touching the floor. And then we're going to push away and come on up. Bring the palms, bring your hands up above and open up on an exhale. Bring your palms back together, and then we're going to come down to wherever we can get our hands, where our heels are hands still good, and go ahead and reach that tailbone out a little bit, and bend those knees. Feel that nice quads holding us up, and then we're going to push away from the floor again, and let those hands come up on an inhale, and then exhale them open. And one more time, we're going to come down. We're going to squat down. This time when we're down to wherever we get to, see if you can get that right elbow over towards the left knee and have a look over the left elbow. And then bring that back to center. This is a tricky one. If you want to reach out for the chair at any point, hold on. And back to center, let's push away from the floor. Reach up, exhale, open up. We're going to do that on the other side now. So we're just going to bring our hands down. And we're going to squat down. using those thighs, you can hold on the chair at any moment. Now go ahead and see if you can bring that left elbow over to the left knee and have a look over the right elbow. And come back to center and push away from the floor. And let the hand just be loose. Ooh, that warms you up, huh? Let's go ahead and let those empty coat sleeves. All right, there's one more shifting weight pose that we'll do. So we're going to do a little bit of, we'll just do a little yoga boxing. So let's get our fists ready. You don't want to squeeze. You want just loose fists. So the power is coming from the body. So you want your nice loose fists. Let's just do, we'll do 1, 2. So we're going to reach your left hand out. I'm sure a lot of you do boxing. So we're just going to do, I'm going to pull that hand back and the other one goes up. So 1, 2. So the left hand is the 1 and the right hand is the 2. Unless you're southpaw, I don't know if you change the numbers around. And now we're going to pull that back and we're going to do some, we're going to 3, 4, and I've learned a different way than some people. We're going to go, we'll pull the 3 around as a, with the hook. So I learned that the hook followed by the other hook. I'm now being taught that the hook, which is the 3, is followed by an uppercut. Let's go ahead and do a hook and an uppercut. So when you actually, even though the arms are doing all the work, lead with your hips. So push away from the floor with your left leg and feel that pressure go all the way up your hip as you bring in that left hand around into that hook. And then when you get to the right hand, you're going to shift that weight to the right leg. Let that power come from the hips as you come up. So you really want to get that whole body involved, not just the arms. Let's go ahead and do 3, 4. So it's a hook and an uppercut. Feel those hips working. So then we're going to do the next one, which is an uppercut on the other side. So we're going to do the left hand, shift that weight to the left leg, and we're going to come up in an uppercut. So you're scooping up, getting that power from the hips in the 5 in the uppercut. Then you come around with the 6, which is the hook. So you're going to bring that left hip, gets the power, you sweep that left arm up and then shift your weight over and shift it at the right leg, powering that right arm. So I came from the East Coast and I learned those differently, but this is what I learned here on the West Coast. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, get that hip going and then the arm comes around. 4, we're going to scoop up from underneath and uppercut. And then 5, we're going to do the other side uppercut. And then we're going to sweep around. You want to get all that action in your hips. So you can go slowly as you need to get that weight change. So even the 1, 2 is coming from the hips. So at that. And then 3, 4, 5, 6. Shake that out. How's that feel? You feeling strong? Let's go ahead and do a few. Keep your hands up at your face. We're just going to do some ducks. So you're going to so you're like going under a fence or something. You're just going to dip down and let that go. And now let's bring that back to stillness. We're just going to do some stepping over. So step to one side of your mat as though you have a rock in the middle of your mat. You're going to step over it and over to the other side. So you're going to step over that big rock in your mat. Excellent. Let that come to stillness. So we're gonna step back away from the chair a little bit. You're gonna just bend your ankles and knees and just propel your arms forward. This is a good loosener. We've been doing a lot with our arms, so this is a good way to loosen up. You get the shoulder fluids going. And you can let that stop, and then you can, I'm gonna turn because otherwise I'll whack the furniture. You can do that side to side now as well, so let your legs sort of get the momentum going and you sweep your arms from side to side. And let that go, and then we can go from back to front. You can cross one over each way. Now for the big kahuna, let's go ahead and do some figure eights as though we're kayaking. That gets the whole body involved. And you can do this seated. Now the tricky part is go the other way. Do backwards figure eights. That's a brain teaser. And let that go and shake it out. If you can hop, do some hopping. Physical therapist told me if you hop it, it like gets all your bones lined up. So hopping is good. And let's go ahead and have a seat again. We're gonna come to the front of our chair. We're gonna use our legs instead of, you're not gonna collapse in the chair with your arms. You can have you can use your arms as sort of counterbalance. If you want to be trickier and test yourself, you can cross your arms over your heart. Bend those ankles and knees. Let your legs bring you down into the chair. How is everybody feeling? Are we all doing okay? Good. Let's go ahead and get a little leg stretch in there before we. So let's kick both feet out. You can't see me. I'm gonna go backwards a little bit so you can see my legs. Okay, kick those legs out and press out through your heels, and then lift up out of your tailbone, out of your hips. And then we're just gonna hinge forward very slightly, just like an inch or two. Nice straight back, nice straight legs. And aim your heart towards your knees, not your chin. So you keep nice neutral neck. Feel the lengthening behind your underside of your legs. Inhale, come up a little bit out of that, and exhale back down into it. And then come on back up. We're gonna bend our knees. Let's go ahead and bring one knee up toward our shoulder. Keep your back nice and straight. And you can use your arms to lift or a strap. We're just getting the hips moving. And go ahead and switch to the other. And then we're going to go back to this first one. Go ahead and pull that up. And hug it with one hand. See if you can pull it a little to the side. So it doesn't have to be up very far. You just want to get it over. Sit. Imagine and take the left hand, and if you can, if you're holding on to the chair, that's fine. But bend your elbow, bring that. It's like you're a little cactus. So this is a cactus pose. The other leg. So you're gonna inhale, let that leg come up, and then go ahead and hold it. You know, the right arm to come out and with the elbow bent. So you're pulling that left leg, you're sort of opening up a little bit. We look like a little cactus, don't we? And then we're gonna bring that back. Let that come down. A little bit more with our toes, so come on up and down. You can't see me, but you can use a block if you want. And you go up and down on your toes. So you're doing like, you're reaching up to get something, you're going up on your tippy toes. Up and down. And then let that go and shift to one side of your chair so you can reach your foot behind you. And the tops of your toes are on the floor on the mat. And press it into that a little bit. Very gently, because There's a lot of tendons in your feet, and tendons don't stretch. They don't like to stretch. So you just want to be very gentle here, but you should feel that in the top of your foot. We often don't get that spot, so that's a good one to let that go. And if you don't mind touching your feet, I know some people don't like to touch their feet, but if you can, this is something you can do while you're watching TV. You can, you know, the divider things that when you get a pedicure, those who've had a pedicure or seen their spouses getting a pedicure, they have those dividers so you can weave your, I actually hand those out in my yoga classes. So you can get them at the drugstore. There's little foam pads, but if you can weave your fingers in between your toes, you can get those foam pads, weave them between your toes. Just leave them there for a couple minutes. You know, not very long, and it stretches your toes. You can weave your fingers in between your toes and sort of give them a stretch. And stretchy toes is better balance. This is one of the gurus of Western, bringing yoga to the West. He had the super longest toes, and they were very bendy. He could balance on anything. So go ahead and you can do that on the other side. So if you don't like to touch your feet, you can get those foam pads. But we ignore our toes, and you weave your fingers in between it. You can feel how, if you haven't done this before, it's going to feel, you're going to feel it. It's a good thing that it's good to do sort of every night, just for a little bit, stretch those toes. And let that go. Let's just do one more for our hips. So we're gonna come to the edge of our chair, and you can, you're a seated mountain. So ankles are below our knees, and we're gonna take one foot and start with the right, and I'm gonna cross. You can cross at the ankle. You can put a block up and rest your foot up on the block, or you can bring your ankle up to your thigh. If you basically want to be wherever it's not, there's no pain, and your back stays nice and straight. So wherever your foot is, make sure it's flexed so that it's at a right angle at the ankle. Instead of pointed, you want it pulled up. That protects your knee. You put a little pressure into the inside of your thigh. Open that up a little bit. And then notice how you're sitting. If you're slumped, you want to sit nice and tall. And then go ahead and hinge forward slightly. You should feel that on the outside of the right hip. It may be a Z. This is often a stuck spot for a lot of us. Come on back up on an inhale. Exhale forward. And then bring that back up. Let's go ahead and take a breath in and notice what's going on. Take inventory of your hips. If they're in the right spot, if they're even and level, let's go ahead and switch to the other leg. So again, you can cross at the ankle. You can cross at the knee. You can put a block up for your foot, or you can bring your ankle all the way up to your thigh, wherever you're comfortable with. We're going to sit nice and tall. Flex that foot, so don't point your toes. Get that foot at a right angle. And go ahead and put a little pressure on the inside of that upper thigh. Open that up a little bit. And there, sit nice and tall. Then exhale, you're going to hinge forward. And you'll feel the outside of the left hip now. And just breathe into that one. This one is okay to go to out, ooh, ooh, ooh. This one is the huge muscles in here. So it's okay to go to, you don't have to stop at ooh, you can go to ooh, ooh, and really feel that one stretching out. Exhale, see if it'll release a little more. Inhale, come on back up. And let that leg go. Let's go ahead and Finish up with a little relaxation. I'm going to do a few hip circles. So put your hands on your hips and exhale as you come forward. Nice, slow, relaxing circles. Inhale as you're leaning back. Then imagine you're just getting all the way around the clock. So you're getting all the numbers on the clock as you're spinning in this circle. And now time is going to go backwards, so we're going to go the other way. Circle the other way. And let that go. Now you can sit back and let the back of the chair support you, and you can kick your legs out, or you can put them up on the blocks or up on the table in front of you, or wherever you want to feel comfortable. I'm just going to take a little body scan and notice what's going on. We did a lot today. You guys did great. Let's just take a big breath in. Feel those ribs expand and then exhale it out. Let's massage our face. Go ahead and take your forefinger and your middle finger and just trace the letter M across your forehead. And then we're going to tap down our jawline. And back up your jawline around your eyes, around your eyebrows, and then underneath around your cheekbones. And then go ahead and give yourself a head massage. And end in the back where those two bony bones in the back of your skull. Go ahead and massage those a little bit down your neck to behind your ears, where those little bones are behind your ears. Go ahead and massage that. And then take your little massage with forefinger and your thumb around your ears. Really don't know anything about reflexology, but the theory is every part of your body is represented in your ears. So if you give a massage, you're giving your whole body a massage. So I figure, what the heck? Can't hurt. Oh, let that go. Big breath in, exhale it out. Wiggle your fingers and toes, scrunch up your nose. And come back into seated. And drop your hands down and turn your palms out. And just inhale them up. Press your palms together, bring them down to your heart. May the sun shine upon us, love surround us, and peace fill us. Thank you for coming. And this is the last in the series, but I'm sure there'll be more. So we'll let you know when it is, because I don't know when that is, but when we find out, we'll let you know. Thank you, and enjoy your summer in between time.